What road do we have? What road is this?
What? Hold on, stop yelling.
Schuler was driving her 2 children and 3 nieces home when the minivan smashed into an SUV, spun into an embankment, and burst into flames.
In 2009, an accident took place in the United States that left people astonished and authorities baffled. On that fateful day, a minivan driven by a woman headed in the wrong direction on a high-speed highway, causing a car CR*she that claimed the lives of innocent people, including several children.
The girls just called in distress. They said that the aunt is driving very erratically.
The kid's not moving. So honestly, the car smashed.
The reasons behind this driver's actions left everybody baffled nationwide. How did this catastrophe happen? Who was this woman? Was it really an accident? These are the last moments of a group of young victims and the recording of one of the most shocking road accidents witnessed by people whose phone calls had an emotional impact on everyone. It all happened on Sunday, July 26, 2009. Diane Schuler from Hunter Lake Campground in Parksville, New York. The family owned a camping trailer there, which they visited almost every weekend. The woman was driving a Ford Windstar minivan while carrying 5 children: her 5-year-old son, her 2-year-old daughter, and her brother's 3 daughters, her 8, 7, and 5-year-old nieces. The minivan belonged to her brother, Warren Hamps, the father of the girls in the car, who never imagined that after that trip, he would never see his daughters again. After a few stops, around 11 in the morning, she took the routes she usually used to get back home on Long Island. But something was off, and several witnesses began calling the police to report the erratic driving of a minivan on the highway. Apparently, Diane was driving aggressively, turning on the lights, honking the horn, and dangerously switching lanes.
We saw something coming at us. We reacted, we moved. She had no reaction at all. She didn't stop, she didn't slow down, she didn't move.
Around 1:30 in the afternoon, some drivers saw Diane driving towards Taconic State Parkway ramps, the longest highway in New York, near Briarcliff Manor, heading north. But there was a big issue. At the end of this ramp, at the intersection of Pleasantville Road, there are 2 warning signs, one that says "Do not enter," and 2 signs that say "One way." That's the point when desperate witnesses started calling the authorities.
They believe you got northbound Taconic. There's a minivan in the right lane going southbound.
911. Hi, I'm at the Taconic Expressway. We just passed exit 100 feet. There's a car going like 70 miles an hour the wrong direction. State Police 911.
Yeah, you got a guy driving south on a northbound Taconic Parkway. Ooh, I was in the left lane. He's going like a bat out of alley.
Diane entered the Taconic State Parkway in the wrong direction, that is, driving against traffic in the fast lane. Incredibly enough, she managed to drive against traffic for 2.7 kilometers at almost 130 kilometers per hour. But the fatal end of this risky action was inevitable. At 1:35, the woman finally suffered a head-on collision, CR*shing into a Chevrolet Trailblazer SUV that was occupied by 3 people. Due to this accident, another car ended up CR*shing, a Chevrolet Tracker. The strong impact caused the vehicle carrying innocent children to burst into flames.
What road do we have? What road is this?
What? Hold on, stop yelling.
Listen, I'm now shooting New York City police officer.
Okay, are you out at the scene right now?
Yes, I'm at the scene.
Okay, are there any injuries?
We have fatalities.
There's like little kids. The kid's not moving. There's a whole bunch of kids. Honestly, the car smashed.
How was it possible that someone entered the highway in the wrong direction and drove for several kilometers without realizing the imminent danger? After the accident, it was revealed that Diane had made multiple calls that alerted that something was wrong, despite the fact that she did not stop her reckless maneuver, which sparked speculations about what was going through this driver's mind. What was she thinking? Was it really an accident? Diane Schuler was a 36-year-old woman at the time of the CR*. She was the mother of 2 children, aged 5 and 2, who were also in the car with her, and she was married to Daniel Schuler. Diane worked as an account executive in a food and beverage company. She lived in Long Island, New York, and was part of a close-knit family. There was no trace of traffic violations or legal problems in her driving record before the accident. She was described as a responsible mother and wife. She was such a role model that she used to take care of the children of her neighbors and friends.
She was a perfect wife, outstanding mother, hard worker, reliable person, trustworthy. I would marry again tomorrow, but she's awesome. She's the best.
On the day of the accident, Diane and her family had gotten up early and packed their stuff to return home from the camp. Her husband Daniel was also camping with them, and when it was time to return, they decided he was going to drive another vehicle, a van, so that he could carry a mattress and the family's dog. Therefore, Diane was said to drive the family car with all the children. During the 4 hours she drove home, traveling approximately 160 kilometers, the woman stopped at different spots before the fatal collision. All the witnesses who bumped into Diane on her last trip stated that she was in perfect health. Her husband was the first person to run into her, as well as the owner of the camp, who stated that she looked absolutely normal. The next people she bumped into were the employees of a fast food restaurant where Diane stopped to have a snack with the children. After that, she made another stop, this time at a gas station in Liberty. Here, the woman was seen on surveillance camera, showing no signs of being mentally disturbed. In that place, she was buying some painkillers, as apparently she was feeling a bit of pain. She left the place at 11 in the morning. Shortly before the accident, Diane Schuler made phone calls to relatives and friends, apparently in a state of confusion and distress. But the first call was made at 11:37 a.m. She called her brother Warren Hance to tell him she was running late due to a traffic jam, without warning him about her health condition. But about 10 minutes later, police were getting reports that the woman was standing on the side of the road with her hands on her knees, as if she was veromiting. Around 1 in the afternoon, Hance received another call, but this time it was one of his daughters on the phone.
The girl just called in distress. They said that Diane is driving very erratically. We think she's sick.
Although Diane told her brother that she couldn't see clearly and was somewhat disoriented, she told him that her nieces were playing and that everything was fine. Warren insisted that she should stop driving, but she decided to carry on. After this call, Diane left her phone on the side of the road, later found by another driver. Her brother never heard from his sister or his daughters again. At the funeral, he sent a heartfelt message to all parents.
Love your children. Cherish your children. Kiss your children. And don't ever forget.
The accident was investigated thoroughly by authorities and got a lot of media attention due to its severity and unusual circumstances. Toxicology tests were carried out on Diane Schuler's BODY, and the results led to a shocking revelation. This led to speculation about her mental state and her ability to drive safely. What could have affected her driving skills? Was it a mistake or a deliberate decision? As a result of the collision, 8 people DT'd instantly, including Diane Schuler, her 2-year-old daughter, her 3 nieces, and the 3 people in the Chevrolet Trailblazer. 81-year-old Michael Bastardi, his 49-year-old son, and a friend of Michael, 74-year-old Dan Longo. Those in the third car involved only suffered minor injuries. As if by miracle, the children ended up in a certain position, forming some kind of human pile, which resulted in the Schuler's son, 5-year-old Brian, being underneath the other children. He was the sole survivor of this fatal accident, although he ended up with serious injuries to his bones and skull. After several weeks in the hospital, he was able to return home with his father.
I promised my wife I will take care of my son the way she wanted me to. That's what I'm going to do.
After the accident, a thorough investigation was conducted. The results of the toxicology tests revealed that Diane Schuler had a high concentration of alcohol in her BODY, approximately 0.19%, plus another 6 grams in her stomach that had not yet been absorbed into her BL0 stream, which was equivalent to having 10 drinks. High levels of THC were also found, the main psychoactive compound that stems from cannabis. Inside the vehicle, a bottle of vodka was also found next to the driver's seat. The news hit all the headlines, as despite toxicology test results, her husband stood on camera to vehemently deny his wife's consumption.
Now listen to this. I go to bed every night knowing my heart is clear. She did not drink. She's not an alcoholic.
Family was the most important thing to her, to have the cousins all playing together. There is no way she would ever jeopardize the children.
After an independent investigator hired by Daniel reached the same conclusion, he corrected himself, stating that there had never been excessive consumption, but that she sometimes smoked to deal with insomnia and had a few drinks. But she would have never drunk that amount of alcohol that was seemingly found in her zero dye. Furthermore, all the witnesses who interacted with her stated that the woman was completely sober. The reasons for how her body showed such toxic levels remain a mystery. Meanwhile, the Hance family and the parents of the little victims of the accident, Jackie and Warren, have done everything possible over the years to honor the memory of their daughters. They created a foundation in their name that guarantees educational programs for children's self-esteem, helping them promote self-worth and community values. They also managed to bring a new baby into the world, which filled the marriage with hope after the painful accident.
It just gives you a meaning again. When you lose everything and then you get something to hold on to, there's really no way to be able to describe it.
Yeah. She brings a heartbeat to this house again.
The accident on the Taconic State Parkway is a heartbreaking reminder of the crucial importance of road traffic safety and the need to make responsible decisions behind the wheel. We will probably never know the reason as to why Diane chose to overdose, risking her life, her family's, and other people's. But this tragedy dramatically illustrates the serious risks that come from driving under the influence. People must be alert and aware of all signs and traffic rules. Staying sober while driving is pivotal to prevent tragedies and keep everybody safe.